Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
I've talked to all our imports. I've identified a group of individuals that we're going to want back, with some changes to that. We got a taste of what it's like to be kind of close to the top for even a glimpse, even if it was just a glimpse, and we want more of it. But it takes a change in lifestyle for them too. I went long-winded in any import that I have back. They've done some fantastic things over the last couple of years. We've competed in a league. Last year was a straight-up league where I've heard this nonsense about, the Northern Division is so weak, and the only reason you're near the top of the league at all is because you play in the weak North, where you get the Edinburgh Capitals 15 times a year. Yeah. Well, we disproved that of sorts this year. Belfast and Cardiff were a far cut above the rest. But we held our own at times, but we want to push that forward. And so my guys need to know that it's time to come in here, and we want them to enjoy their time here and have fun. Hockey is the number one priority. If you decide to come back, then it's time to make that transfer in the ice, not for the last 3 months of the season or the last month of the season. This is a 7-month thing, and we're gonna put another group of guys around you that are going to enable you to go out there and do your best night in, night out. So I have had a very positive response from the core guys that I want back. In fact, I'm very close with a number of them. We're hard work at putting together the piece, finding out which Brits want to go down south and which ones want to stay, fitting that pieces together. And we are significantly further ahead than I feel we've been before, because ultimately, and it's the funny side of the business, but it just happens, teams start recruiting in January now. It's something that we've never done before. I feel uncomfortable with another coach speaking to one of my players in February about playing for them next season, but it happens. I know of a player on my team that signed before the end of the season, and he's no longer with us. So, and that's fine. It's the business, and teams will do that. It's not my policy. I don't want to talk to somebody in Nottingham when they're on a playoff drive. I may look at their name on an agent's list, but I won't contact them. But we're being certainly a lot more proactive than we've been in the past. I'm certainly pretty comfortable where things are at right now. We're going to have a lot of work to do this summer, but I'm quite optimistic. Yeah, I mean, that is a huge strength of Jeff's. He's a fantastic recruiter as well. And I think we said it in your Facebook Live session we did with you last season, a little bit about the recruiting process. I mean, we talk multiple times every day. We spend a lot of time together. Families we were just on holiday at the same spot. And the families met up a couple times. It's a great working relationship and a friendship that we enjoy coming to our work most times. And, that really transfers to players too. When they know that they have a couple guys that work together and they're not getting mixed messages. It helps the continuity with the players. So you know what, he'll have a set of contacts, I have a number of contacts, we have a bunch of crossover contacts. Jeff has played in every single team in Britain, so he has a extensive knowledge of, he's a much better networker than I am. I'm kind of, I'm 20 years behind on that scene, but he's a very good networker. So we talk to a lot of people, There's a lot of coaches back home we speak to, and ultimately there's guys over the years that we keep our eye on and will continue to, in the hopes that one day the Elite League and certainly Fife, it turns out to be the place for them. I want guys to be able to hold their own. I think Goat is a prime example. Bomer, when you finally got him riled enough, he could hold his own. Pinkston's a nasty bugger. We didn't really see that this year. He knew the importance of him staying on the ice because we were so short-staffed back there all year. Guys, a lot of guys on our team that were capable of sticking up for themselves. Enforcer, I like that, but on this big ice where we play every night, an enforcer would need to be able to skate. He has to skate, because if he's a pylon out there, what are we doing it for? Then it becomes entertainment value, and I have no problem with people wanting to be entertained at the rink, but you can't want entertained and demand wins and everything. If you're looking for that pinpointed player, guys need to be tough and play tough and stick up for each other. But I rely heavily on every single import, and they need to be on the ice and play. But if you look at the trend, the way the game's going, speed and skill is just a general direction that all the leagues are moving towards, right from the top down. It's something that we've always tried to do, and we're going to continue down that path. But I definitely have enjoyed working with a guy like Goat, who has wonderful hands. The guy should score 30 in this league. He hasn't yet. He should, if he would shoot the puck. Like I talk to him every week. If he'd shoot the puck sometimes, you would find that he will score 30. But he's also a guy who can drop the mitts and hold his own with near enough anybody. So Bomer was a prime example of a guy who, by the end of the season, it appeared that he'd won a lot of people over, and can hold his own as well, as I mentioned. So we do have guys, but maybe if the right guy comes available, we don't say no. We just don't say to agents, don't send us enforcers. Send us everybody. We'll take a look, and if it's the right fit for the team and he's the right guy, just because you can fight doesn't mean we're going to bring you in, because we're not going to bring in somebody in a dressing room who's going to be disruptive. So there's a lot of pieces that go in behind the scene when you're recruiting a player. Look at from my perspective, Ali. Imagine knowing everything and not being able to say anything. So would you like to know at home and say, okay, yeah, I'll tell you something, but you can't say anything? Guess what? Everybody knows, right? I'm a pretty open person. If you ask me, if you see me down at the grocery store and you ask me, you generally get a pretty honest answer. I don't run the PR department, and our PR department does a great job. But what people forget is we work with volunteers, right? So we don't have somebody who is paid to run social media and puts things in place on a daily basis. That would be fantastic. But people have lives, they have full-time jobs, they're Flyers fans, they want to watch a game. We struggle with it at times, because this is a world where if you don't sending stuff to people constantly, because they're constantly staring down at their screens, if you're not putting it in their minds that instant, it's out of their minds and they've forgotten about it, because they're getting bombarded with so much all the time, all day. I walk around the street and all people are doing, looking down at their phones, because they're getting so much information. We could be better at putting information out. But we only have 1, 2, 3, maybe 3.5 full-time people at the club. We're a small club, and there's ways we can improve. Look, I try not to sit here and think that we're better than anybody, and we are who we are. and we strive to put our best team together every year, and it's incredibly time consuming for myself and Jeff. I would freely put things out every day. That's not the way it works. And you know, we continue to push. When we sign somebody, we say, okay, we'd like to get this out, and when we get the green light, it goes out.
And we'll try and keep in touch more over the summer as well, just to find out how progress is going, I guess.
Yeah, I can always be reached, and I mean, I think it's important. It's whole package and what we're working towards. The main thing that, you know, I think it's important is the team's stable. The team's not gonna work outside its financial means, which can be frustrating for a coach as well as fan base sometimes, because you want to go out there and buy a league or try and buy it. We're going to be around, and you know, we're going to give Flyers fans something to cheer about. So I'll try to get the information out as quick as I can, and but rest assured that things are happening, and we always get there.